Okay, how we doing, everyone? Big Bird here, Brendan here. What do you want to call me? Just got my apple here, got my Coke as well. Been having that on the side as well. Just thought I'd make a quick video. I'm not sure if he's going to be tuning in or if he's about to tune in or what's happening. But if you can see in the bottom right hand corner where the privacy chat is, or rather the public chat I should say, you can tune it for party, regiments, team and match, and I think something else. So as you can see, I had this guy accusing me of cheating. I was playing on Gunrunner and I was using the Odin. I'm trying to get the Odin Obsidian. I'll show you that right now, because I recently did the RAM, so I'm going to show you what the Obsidian Odin looks like. This is the Obsidian Odin. I've got to get 9 more matches and I should have this done by the end of tonight, but I thought I'd just make a quick stream/video and show you my settings and show you what I use on some of the guns that I have Obsidian up. I'm going to show you what I have Obsidian and what guns and how I use them and their setups and all that. So if you decide to want to use them, you can copy my setups, you can copy a similar setup, you can copy whatever it is that you want. But anyway, so I had this guy accuse me of cheating, so essentially what I did is there's this building to the right on Gunrunner. So you got the central building, the big central building, not the left one where everyone camps at the 725 and it's got that jail area, the one with the cars in the middle. So anyway, not that building, and not the yellow building where you go up the stairs. The right building where you can go up the stairs, jump on the car or go through the window, or you can go on top of the steel tower and go through the side entrance to the right where there's a huge window that you can climb through. Essentially, what I did is I killed one guy. I was like, oh yeah, you know, whatever, generic kill, stiff shit. But I heard this other guy shooting at me, and I instantly identified the gun. It was P90. He didn't have it suppressed, so, you know, standard P90, 50 rounds. I was like, okay, so this guy could easily beat me at close range because I'm using an Odin. Even though my gun's a 2-hit kill, his gun shoots faster, aims faster, moves faster, has better hip fire, cleaner irons, better everything. So he can essentially beat me. But there's a box. There's like a box/container/crate, whatever you want to call it, which is next to the steel door on the left, which is near the caravan, or the cart, whatever it is. And essentially what I did is I knew he was going to be there, because I mean, like, why wouldn't you be there? What are you going to be head glitching on the door when there's barely any cover on it? And if he did decide to do that, then, well, you know, what am I going to do about that? You know, not much, and no one really does that, because the door, I think, was opened to the left side and not on the inside. It was opened on the outside, sorry, not on the inside. So essentially what I did is I came around the corner. I think I hit him once with the Odin, and I was like, no, maybe I'll just switch to my Renetti. Here's my Renetti setup. I've been using this setup. I was using the compensator for quite a while, but I find the compensator is just completely pointless, because the compensator only reduces the upwards recoil, and on a burst weapon, you want the spread to be tight, so that as you shoot, all the 3 rounds connect. Because if you're getting more recoil and you're already aiming at center mass, reduced recoil doesn't help you. But if you're trying to hit them like on the side, or if they're just going around a corner, the muzzle brake helps out way more. So I use the muzzle brake, although in saying that, the burst mod does increase your recoil, but this removes that stupid side to side bounce. And the problem is that you got the aiming instability, so you can't exactly beam or I shouldn't swear, beam people at long range. So I'm using this tech laser, because I'm using the muzzle brake and the 27 round mags. I know many people would say, oh, just use the 21, but 27's a little bit better. You get an extra 2 bursts, and on a weapon like this, its reload speed's a little bit slower than some of the other handguns, and it burns through ammo like crazy. So I like to use the 27 round mags and the lightweight trigger, obviously, to remove that unnecessary burst delay. The tech laser, so that when I'm aiming and strafing, I don't get that side to side bounce as I'm strafing before I shoot. Only problem is that this gives away my position, but at the range at which you should be using a handgun, this is normally fine. And you don't want to use the many people would say, oh, just use the stippled grip. This is basically the stippled grip, it's just got a different name. It's called the XRK speed grip. I don't use that, so this setup on the Renetti is extremely accurate. Even at long range, you can beam people with it. Obviously, the damage is still pretty trash, so you can't exactly kill people in a single burst. You might have to hit them 2 or 3 times, or 2 or 3 bursts, I should say. So essentially that's what I did. It came around the corner. I knew he was going to be on the head glitch. I pulled my aim upwards and shot a full burst into his head and killed him. And he accused me of cheating. And then I killed him again, and I killed him again, and over and over and over, and he killed all the other players as well, not just him. Oh, and by the way guys, keep out for other videos coming up. More content coming up. If you'd like to see that, drop a like, drop all that shit, drop a comment. I'd really appreciate that. So that when these future videos come out, you can see them. There'll be some nice compilations, there'll be some nice free-for-all montages, there'll be a few good rage clips where someone accuses me of cheating or whatever, so that'll be really good. So, as you can see, that's the Renata setup I use. This is my Odin setup. I was using this setup for some time. This is also another setup I used. But this setup, I liked it because this movement speed offsets the 25 round mag, Colossus. Only problem is that with this setup, the aiming instability is fucking crazy because you've got this and these two affecting the aiming instability, and on a gun like this it matters. So I took off this barrel, and this also increases recoil. It's not by too much, but the fact that you lose that, I think it's 20% range when you use this with the shorter barrel, so you lose that 2-shot range to the upper chest. But this helps so much with your ADS time. That's the reason I was using this, because you can use the tech laser. The tech laser gives you away with your position, but I've sort of just accepted the fact that that's just going to happen to me, so I've used this setup. Because the Odin has a really slow reload and only 20 rounds, I pretty much am forced to use the 30 round mag so that I can avoid reloading with this gun at all costs, because the reload speed on this gun is fucking horrible. Please excuse my language. And with this setup, you get amazing aim walking steadiness. You get a fair amount of aiming instability, but it's not too much. This doesn't actually help with recoil control like it says it does. It's barely noticeable. You'll barely notice the recoil control. In fact, if you were to strap on a fucking compensator, the recoil control would actually be much better. But the reason I use this is that damage range. Don't get me wrong, obviously the recoil does help a little bit, and the sound suppression does help a little bit. Oh, and this thing is massive. This thing is massive. This thing gives away your position when you go around corners and stuff. I cannot tell you, I've been killed fucking hundreds of times from peeking a corner, and some guy saw my barrel and he pre-fired and killed me. But in saying that, this barrel gives you an insane 2-shot range. I think it's like a 30% increase or some shit to your 2-shot range. I'm also using the Manzilla skin, which is very similar to the Black Asp skin. It's just this one's got gold and black and white and grey on it, so that's really nice. I really like this one. Got all that black and gold. This is the more grey and silver, and this is just your standard Black Odin with the silver barrel, so this is what I use. I was using the Black Asp because the iron sights are pretty good on it. They're not too bad, they're pretty good, I like them. I think they're a definite improvement over these ones. Not that the standard iron on the Odin are bad, they're still pretty good, but that stupid annoying ring at the top, it bounces up and down when you shoot, so I wasn't a very big fan of it. But in saying that, I never really used the scope on the Odin. I just, unless I was playing like Grand War or Warzone, I just typically just use a red dot, or I just use no sights at all. And this setup is the setup that I've been accused of cheating with so many times in the last few days. Got accused of cheating by that guy, as I mentioned, and that's the reason why I made this stream. To show you what it is that I'm using on this gun, prove to you that I'm not cheating, and this is the reason why I have to do this stream, because this guy wanted me to do a stream. He's like, okay, I'll watch, but I don't see him in the chat. He's not engaging in the chat, so I have no clue if he's watching. I'll have zero clue. I could be here all night and I wouldn't know. Point is, this is the setup I'm using. Damascus as well. I gotta get 9 more games and I'll have this gun on Obsidian, and I'll probably go to the, where is it? Go to the PKM next. I think my PKM has 97 more games to go, so I'll use this PKM. I'll get this done. And then after I do that, I'll do the SKS. I'll get this done. I'll probably do the SKS first now that I've said that, but I'll get this gun done. So I really enjoy the SKS. It's a pretty good gun, so that is definitely what I'll be using. I'll show you my PKM setup real quick. This is what I use. Tac laser, because the problem with the PKM is the slow ADS time is just, it's pitiful. The ADS time on this gun is absolutely horrible. I'm not using the close quarters stock, I'm using the ultralight stock, so that you can strafe faster when you aim, and with the tac laser it removes all that side to side bounce when you're walking. The recoil control on this PKM is amazing. You don't even need the snatch grip. I'm only using the snatch grip for the ADS effect. The recoil control on the snatch grip is barely noticeable. It's barely noticeable. So I just use it for the ADS time, because if I'm running this and then I decide to take this off, I've only got 2 ADS attachments, and this is not enough to help my ADS. The stippled only removes like 1 frame, which is barely fucking noticeable. So snatch grip is what I use. Ultralight stock for strafing. Cronin. If I was playing Warzone, I would usually use the 200 round belt or 150 round belt with sleight of hand, so that I never have to reload. And because in Warzone obviously you have more health when you're tackling enemies at longer distances, and because there's more players, you need those extra rounds to shoot as many players as possible. But in saying that, I don't really play Warzone because I consider it boring as all hell. Occasionally I do use this PBX. This is easily my favourite holographic sight, the PBX Holo, because it has the least amount of visual obscurance. Like if you look at this one's a lot bigger and fatter around the edges. This one's a lot more skinny and a lot more smaller in size. And many people just go, oh yeah, whatever, just stick to the normal fucking Holo, that's what we're all used to. But personally, I just prefer this one, just because it's smaller in size, and it also looks cool like that too. Although some people don't like the weird, like, reticle colour, like the background colour, so maybe that's why people don't use it. But I like it. This is my go-to red dot. For all those that watch my videos, you'll probably know that this is my go-to red dot. I do not use this sight. This sight is absolutely horrible, and it also looks god-awful ugly as all hell. The GI Mini Reflex is my second most favourite red dot. This is the standard red dot that you could also use in Battlefield 4. Many people use this red dot. I think it was called the I think it was just called the Reflex sight, or the red dot sight. Can't remember what it was called in that game, but yeah, everyone used to use that sight in that game. But yeah, this is my second favourite red dot. I don't use the Viper. It's pretty much the Cronin, but I don't know, just prefer the Cronin. I don't use the Solo Zero, and I do not use this one. What many people don't realise about this one is if you aim in very correctly, there's little tiny lines at the top of the sight that actually bounce up and down and block you when you're shooting, and I hate that sight. So, if you want to beam people, you've got to use this Cronin sight. SKS, I have many setups with the SKS. Sometimes I'll use this. I never use the Parabarrel. I always use the Landmark or the M59. I never use any other barrel. I don't use the stock one, and I do not use the Parabarrel. There's no point. I don't use the 10 round mags because the sprint to fire benefit is barely noticeable. The reload speed benefit is barely noticeable. The only good thing about the 10 round mags is the movement speed bonus and the ADS bonus, but for me that's just not good enough. 10 rounds on the EBR is good, but 10 rounds on the SKS isn't, because the SKS has less range. So you end up getting more hit markers, and 10 shots is not enough. I just stick to the 20 round mag. I very rarely use 30. Just stick to the 20. Doesn't cost an attachment, and you can choose whatever other ones you want. I usually use this rifle stock with the Traveller skin, of course, because you know, then you get that very nice pink and purple. That's what I use, but occasionally I use the sawn-off of the tac laser. Longest barrel cuts off the recoil on the sawn-off. Tac laser cuts out the aiming instability on the sawn-off. Tactical foregrip cuts out the aiming instability on the sawn-off. These two, the sawn-off cuts off the movement speed on the barrel, and this gives me more range. This gives me a sight, and this removes all the aiming instability and aim walking steadiness. This improves my ADS time, this improves my ADS time, this gives me damage range, and this improves my aiming stability. So it all cancels out, and it ends up being a pure bonus gun. The only downside is if you use this setup, you move slower when you aim, and you don't move as fast. But if you use this setup, the aiming instability that you get, zero. You get almost zero aiming instability. This is easily one of the most accurate guns in the game if you use this setup, but I very rarely use this setup because it's slow as all hell. This is a very good setup for ground war and Warzone, but yeah, I usually take this off and we'll run either the, sorry, I think it's the lightweight, no, sorry, not lightweight tactical, or I'll run a perk. The EBR is far more versatile. It's easier to kit out that weapon, in my opinion. It's far easier to kit out compared to the SKS, but the SKS, in my opinion, is still better. But yeah, this is what I'll be using when I grind this gun. I know people say, "Oh, just use the commando, take a movement point hit, and it helps with recoil." This helps with aiming instability more, and you don't lose an extra movement point. And I've already got this barrel slowing me down, so. And then some people just say, just use the landmark, but you know, what's the point? This increases my recoil, and this prevents that recoil increase. This affects my movement and ADS time, and this cuts that out, so it ends up fucking working out in the end. And that's what I'll use. Unless, of course, I do something creative where I like take this off. Do this, and then it's sort of like pure bonus, and then you can put that on. That's also a good setup. I'm sorry, this one. Honestly, I'll probably give them all a different try. This is also my favourite red dot. Red dot / hollow sight. This is my go-to sight in ground war and Warzone all the time. Many people would choose this one. I think it's this one. No, it's not. I'm incorrect. Canted hybrid, but what's the point? It's on the side of the gun, and when you mount it to the side like that, it blocks all the screen, and I fucking hate that. This one looks a bit more weird to aim because you're physically pulling your character's eyes upwards to the sight, to the top sight, but peripheral vision is so much better, so that's why I prefer it. I have a friend who swears by the solid, yeah, he plays the Sizzler. Nice guy, very good player, but yeah, he likes using this on the AK, but it's pretty trash sight in my opinion. I don't use it, but yeah, I know some people do. Anyway, onto my settings, so I can prove that I'm not cheating, like that guy accused me of, and he still hasn't even been joining the chat, still hasn't engaged with chat, nothing, hasn't watched me my stream, nothing. So these are my settings, default stick layout, invert recoil invert vertical lock disabled, my dead zone is 0.08. My horizontal stick sensitivity is very nice at 12. My vertical stick sensitivity is 9, so I play at a very high sensitivity. I know people would say, oh, but it's not that high, it's not that high. Trust me, the 9 sensitivity is actually really, really, really high. It's just that you can go higher, but what's the point? 9 sensitivity combined. Your horizontal stick sensitivity should always be higher, because the idea is that as you're pulling your aim to the side and you're pulling your aim upwards, it's more consistent, because if you have them on the same value, it'll look weird and jerky. I tried doing that on Battlefield 5 and it's really weird. It might look more consistent, but really it ain't. It won't make your aim more consistent, even though it looks more consistent on the screen, is what I should be saying. ADS multiplier. I don't think I've changed that. I think that's been standard. That's 1.42. My aim response curve is dynamic. Now, I don't know exactly what this means. I've watched a video on it, but I keep freaking forgetting on it. Exclusive Ace is one of the best content creators for Call of Duty. I recommend you go to his channel, Exclusive Ace. He does amazing videos on this sort of stuff. Drifter also does amazing stuff, mostly gun guides, but he also does other stuff. But Exclusive Ace, check his channel out, because this guy has done a full video on aim response curves. Most people use standard and linear. I use dynamic. My controller vibration is disabled. I don't even know why you'd have that on. My aim assist. This is where people accuse me of cheating. Everyone thinks I'm using focusing, or standard, or none. I'm using precision. I get no rotation. I get no slowdown. And rotation is when you're strafing, when your character's moving side to side, or when the enemy's moving side to side, and your aim sticks to him. People think because precision sticks to people, which it does, that they assume that you have rotation. You don't have rotation. There is no rotation with precision. So there's an upside and a downside to that. It's mostly downsides, but if you play at a high sensitivity, it's mostly upsides. So it's a trade-off. So if you want to make it an upside, you have to play at a high sensitivity with precision, because if you're not, then you might as well just not use it and just choose focusing or standard. So here's what I use. I use precision, no rotation, because when I played Battlefield 5, I was playing at 100% aim assist, 80, 60, 70, 50, 40, 10, 20. I was on the extreme highs and extreme lows, and then I sort of took a number in the 20s all the way up to the 50s. I had that for pretty much the vast majority of my time playing the game. On here, I do not use these other ones. I don't use no aim assist, I don't use standard, and I don't use focusing. Those are either scummy, useless, or boring. Precision, as it says in the description, strong aim slowdown that only kicks in when aiming on the target, or rather what it says is when aiming closer to the target, which is actually not true. It's not when you're aiming closer to the target, because that would pretty much mean to most people that your aim is near the target, closer to the target. Well, no, because you have to physically be on them. Exclusive Ace, once again, check his channel out. I will try my best to put a link in the description if I can, but maybe you've already watched him. Point being, he's done an amazing video on those free aim assists. Precision has no rotation and no slowdown. Slowdown is when your aim pulls into a spot and doesn't really move. It's sort of just, it's hard to explain. I'm a bit tired, sorry. It's not like the sticky effect where it sticks to the guy once you've aimed onto him. What it does is it pulls very, very slowly, like it pulls like that as you're aiming on the person. It like tugs, letting you know that, hey, you're almost on target. So this is good for two reasons. This makes long-range combat extremely, well, some would say it makes it easier. I would argue it makes it harder, because then if you're trying to aim on someone and he's moving, your aim assist is constantly bugging in and out. However, at close range, it is extremely strong, because then you can get aim assist on the side of their body, you can get aim assist on the top of their head, and then all you have to do is just pull down and you get a free fucking kill, and it's just stupid. So, as a person who's a former PC player, but I also play, obviously mostly console, I do feel some sympathy with the PC players, that standard aim assist is a bit too strong, focusing is also a bit too strong. I'm quite fine with standard, really, when it comes down to it, because, it sort of has all three going for it, but it's not strong in any one area. It's sort of just, good at everything. But focusing is completely just stupid, because it allows you to get slowdown even when you're not aiming on the person. Standard also allows that, but focusing takes it to the next level, obviously. What precision does, the only thing that precision does better than all of them, is when you do aim on that person and you're not moving, or he's not moving, it is exceptionally fucking strong aim assist. Like, your aim will stick to him. The reason why I use precision is because it helps me counter snipers. It helps me counter people sitting on head glitches, because if I jump and I land on a spot and I don't move, and I try my best not to move as I'm aiming, even though I say you should, I do move when I aim, but I like precision because there are situations where someone's on a head glitch, or there's a sniper, and I will probably lose that fight if I don't get my aim and stick it to him. Now, it doesn't always work, because if he jumps, well, my aim can't stick to him, because then he's moving and I got no rotation. It only works if he's standing still or moving straight, and I'm standing still. So essentially I have to either be really close for me to be able to notice it, or he has to literally be not fucking moving so that my aim can stick to him. So many people would say, oh, that's retarded, that's way too strong, and some people would say, oh my god, it's so useless, why would you even use it? Now, it's useless, precision aim assist. However, like I said, if you use a high sensitivity with dynamic, it is extremely strong, because as you're pulling on your controller and moving it, you get nice consistency, and I got a low dead zone, or I should say a moderate dead zone, so it allows me to stick to players. ADS, I don't mount too much. Most people go, oh my god, Big Bird, you're mounting for recoil, because you can't handle recoil. No, I actually mount, so that it makes my hitbox smaller. I will accept the recoil decrease if I get it, but I honestly couldn't give a shit. In Rainbow, I would do the same thing. I would lean. Everyone leans in that game. For me, mounting in this game is just another version of leaning, except that I have to physically be on cover. So, all those people who go, oh my god, you're mounting, you're only doing it for recoil control because you're a bot and you can't control recoil. How do you know? How do you know what they're thinking? Maybe they're mounting because they want to, be able to lean. You know what I like to do sometimes? If I'm crouching behind a piece of cover, and if I go to stand up, he can headshot me. But if I mount, my character doesn't stand up and just get shot. My character physically lurches forward to the cover and pushes his head up against it, and then I can shoot people. So, I cannot tell you how many times I got shot at from a stupid spot, and then I mounted on top of an object. Sometimes you can be around a corner. So say you're in that corner, and you don't want to jump. You can literally just click R3 and mount and aim, and just mount around the corner and just shoot the guy. I've outplayed people with mounting in more ways than one. And then side behavior is hold. Now, if I was a PC player, toggle's better, because then that means you can have your hand on other keys, and all you have to do is have your hand on the mouse, and if you click it, your aim stays aimed in, and then if you click it again, it unaims. But some people don't like that. Equipment behavior is hold, tap to reload. Slide behavior is tap, not hold. What is the point on having it on hold when tap is superior? You can literally cancel the slide, and no one wants to fucking have to constantly hold circle. Your hand will get tired. If you just go, if you just tap it, it's easier. And you can always just go, you can literally just, so obviously I didn't mean to leave the menu, but point is you can just double tap it and you can get out. Okay, I'll go back to my settings, sorry about that. Automatic sprint disabled, parachute, no one cares about that shit. Safe area, I've got it at max, film code 0, tooltips enabled, I don't know why. Subtitles, I actually have this enabled. This doesn't help me in free-for-all because characters don't speak, they only like groan and scream when they die. But if you're playing like Warzone or whatever, this shit is actually clutch. I know people would like, oh my god, I don't like subtitles, it ruins the immersion, or I don't like subtitles because too much information. But I like subtitles because if I injure a guy or I hear a guy above me and he plants a claymore, or maybe he's doing something that I don't know what he's doing, maybe he's getting third-partied by another squad and I don't know who he is and he could speak, maybe he reloads his gun and he speaks and I know where he is. And now that the subtitles give them away, I know what operator is speaking and I know where the person is. So subtitles actually give away the position of players that are actually the enemy. People think that subtitles are only for your teammates. See, subtitles are displayed when possible. See, there you go. So for people who think, oh yeah, Big Bird's playing freefall and he's got subtitles on, he can hear the characters speaking, he's cheating. Nope. Characters do not speak in freefall. They only moan and groan when they get shot, or if they're using their quips when they execute people. And I barely execute people. Besides, executing people is not aimbot. You're executing them. Language selection, English. I don't speak French. This is another thing I don't get about this game. Why has it got one spare language? Like, does oh my god, English. Does the entire world only speak fucking French and English? Like, what about Chinese? What about Arabic? What about Russian and Greek and whatever? Just makes no sense. Colorblind. I'm not colorblind. Very fortunate to not be colorblind. You know, all you different colors. I'm not colorblind, so I'm very fortunate to have pretty good eyes. World, motion blur, why is that even in the game? Get rid of it, it's completely pointless. Square is actually superior. Circle just looks cooler, but square is superior. Map mini rotation, I have that enabled, so that the map is more consistent, and it'll be looking in the direction where I'm aiming, so I have a better understanding of where it is that I'm moving to. This is another reason why I'm so good at free-for-all, is because I can see where I'm aiming, and I can see all the interlinking paths, so I know where people will be going to, because it gives me more direction on the minimap, and since it's square, I have more information to see. Oh, that's cheating. It's not. Everyone has access to it. You're just stupid because you don't want to use it. Like, why wouldn't you use it? It's not cheating. It's not giving you, like, some massive advantage. You have to just learn to take in the information. It's not a matter of, oh yeah, it's helping you out, it's giving you free assistance. It's a matter of, okay, what assistance will you be gaining if you call in a spy plane or personal radar? Then you can use it to your advantage. It's not cheating. It's also not cheating if you don't use it, or do use it. Seriously, just use it if you don't want to. If you don't want to, it's your personal preference. I'm using letters, not numbers, because having to say, oh, west on a 270, 260, it takes too long. If you just say west, it's just easier information, especially if you're a Warzone player. Like, think about it for a minute. If your compass is on west, and the next number next to it is, say, 250, and in between west and 250 or 255 is 260 and 270, just be like, yeah, man, he's west 260. Like, what difference does it make if he's 255 or 260? There's no fucking difference in the direction. Like, he's not an ant, he's a human being, he's pretty big to spot. So, it sort of makes no sense to have it on numbers. And yet you'll hear people that go, oh no, numbers are superior. No, letters are superior. Don't care what anyone says. Text chat enabled, profanity filters disabled, so if someone calls me a cheater or swears at me, I can actually understand what it is that they're saying. I have dismemberment and gore effects disabled, although that's only for, I think this is only for campaign, and if you have those gore things. Audio next. Yes, the audio. The most annoying thing in this fucking game. No, jokes. All jokes aside about the audio in this game, I do think the audio is quite good. It's just that sometimes the audio is retarded, but you know, that's not really a Call of Duty issue, that's a game issue as a whole. You can never make the audio perfect. If the audio was too high and everyone could sound, or everyone would be complaining, oh, I can't even move without being heard, and if people made it too quiet, it would be like, oh my god, why is everyone camping? Like, it's just that people complain. People just fucking complain. Like, I complain. However, when I'm in a match, see this mic? It stays off. It doesn't go on. It stays off. I don't vent my frustrations out on other people. My master volume is at a high. Boost, I'm going to tell you this right now, I'm using a Turtle Beach headset, which isn't the best headset. I think Astros are generally better. My brother has one, but I fucking hate it. But I know many people think Astros are better. I'm using Boost High because I've noticed roughly a 10% increase in volume. Roughly, I'm noticing a slight increase, so I think Boost High is a bit better. Dialogue volume 100%, effects 100, Juggernaut music, I don't use Juggernauts. I don't even use kill streaks, so it doesn't really matter. I'm using the classic hit markers from Call of Duty COD 4. Voice chat enabled, my mic threshold is 2.16, not that that fucking matters, it's not going to change the way you play the game. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my settings. So, if that guy even had the balls, or the patience, and I don't blame him if he doesn't have patience, because I fucking sure don't, especially when someone's accusing me of cheating and has no proof, and claims he's going to report me and do all these other things. Oh, I've recorded it. Big Bird on cheat trader last 20 games suspect. What even is that? You know what, guys? At the end of this stream, which I'll be ending any minute now, I'll be checking that out to see what even the fuck that is. And he called me a Fortnite cheater, but I don't even play Fortnite anymore, and I was dog shit at Fortnite. I only had like 20 solo wins. I was horrible. Although in saying that, I had like 300 squad and duo wins combined or some shit. So I was pretty good at squads and duos, but solos and without playing with my friends, I was a complete bot. But yeah, point is he's calling me a cheater and saying I'm gonna get reported and banned and all these things. One, I've reported cheaters many times and they never get banned, and I'm not a cheater and I don't see how I will get banned. And if I do get banned, well, that'll just make no fucking sense. You know, you'll ban legit players like me, who have actual footage of me playing this game. Cheaters don't upload footage of them playing, unless they're just, like, I don't know, show-offs and just want to make other people salty or whatever. But yeah, I'm not like that. Oh yeah, I'll watch. Yeah, no worries, okay, I'm sure you will. Anyway, guys, enough rambling. Cheers to all those that watched. Appreciate it. I'll catch you all later. Like I said, don't forget to check Exclusive Ace out, and Drifter as well, but check Exclusive Ace out. Check out some of his videos on aim assist and settings and all that stuff. You don't even have to check out them too. Check out my other videos, check out other channels. Don't just check out mine. Don't just take in everything I say and just, you know, treat it as the fucking truth. I'm not the only person on this game. I don't claim to be the worst player, and I don't claim to be the best player. I just play the game, just like everyone else does. And if you think I am worth listening to, then by all means copy my settings. Otherwise, go listen to the other 200 plus COD channels that exist, and they'll all give you their input. Point being, I'm not the only one. Anyway, guys, I'll catch you all later. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Guess I'll catch you later. Thanks.